Hey chosen friends, welcome to December, the grand finale of the year, a time when life settles its scores. For some, it's a season of joy, reflection, and connection. For others, it's payback season. The universe is knocking, and for those who spent their year spreading lies, envy, and sabotage, the door opens to a cold, hard truth. You reap what you sow. The holidays, draped in lights and laughter, also carry the weight of accountability. They shine a spotlight on who thrived and who schemed, who built and who tore down. For those who poured their energy into trying to dim your light, this is no season of cheer. It's their judgment day. The weight of their own deeds has circled back, and now they're suffocating under the burden they so eagerly prepared for you. This month, as you step into the blessings you've earned, they step into the consequences they deserve. While you bask in the warmth of real joy, success, and peace, they sit frozen in the cold of their own making. The tables haven't just turned, they've flipped, and the contrast between you and them couldn't be clearer. Your glow isn't just undeniable, it's blinding. Let's not call this karma. Let's call it what it is. Universal justice. The balance they tried to tip in their favor has snapped back hard. The energy they wasted trying to break you has become their undoing. And now, in this season of giving, they're unwrapping a truth they can't escape. You can't destroy what's destined to thrive. This isn't just about their downfall, it's about your rise. Their bitterness fed your fire. Their negativity became your motivation. Now, as you stand tall, your success isn't just a victory, it's a statement. The light they tried to snuff out has become their shadow. This December, remember this: you're untouchable. While they wrestle with the chaos of their choices, you walk into a season of triumph, clarity, and transformation. They started a game they couldn't win. Now they're left in the dark, watching you shine brighter than ever. This is your time to own the stage. Let them watch. Let them learn. The universe works in mysterious ways, and this message is no accident. If it resonates with you, drop the number 77 in the comments to signal alignment with the universe. Hit the like button to help spread this truth to others who need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on the wisdom and inspiration that keeps you thriving. Let's dive in and uncover why this season is a turning point for you and a reckoning for them. Number 1. The universe delivers late but right on time. The holidays, wrapped in ribbons of joy and togetherness, are also a season when the scales of justice tip back into balance. For those who've lived with integrity, this is a time of warmth and abundance. But for those who've spent their year sowing seeds of envy, lies, and malice, December arrives like an unpaid debt collector demanding the bill be settled. Accountability may run late, but it never skips an appointment. Imagine planting weeds in someone else's garden, only to find them choking your own. That's the reality for those who tried to sabotage you. Their schemes, carried out in the shadows, are now under the glaring lights of the holiday season. The energy they poured into tearing you down has boomeranged back, hitting them with the force of every choice they made. The universe isn't being cruel. It's simply balancing the scales. This December, their lives are like a cracked mirror, reflecting the choices they tried to bury. Relationships are unraveling as their lies come to light. Finances are strained because their focus on destruction left them blind to opportunities. Peace is a foreign concept as they sit in the chaos of their own creation. Every holiday carol, every string of lights, every act of kindness around them feels like salt in a wound they opened themselves. Meanwhile, you're thriving. Your success, your light, your peace. It's not just flourishing, It's a stark contrast to their emptiness. While you're embracing the fruits of hard work and perseverance, they're grappling with the bitter harvest of their own neglect and negativity. The harsh truth? The holidays amplify everything, including regret. For them, this isn't just a festive season, it's a reckoning. Their cheerful facade is as hollow as a broken ornament. The universe doesn't forget. And this year, their gift is a mirror, forcing them to confront the truth. You can't invest in destruction and expect dividends of peace. This isn't revenge, it's cosmic order. While you move forward with purpose, they're left holding the weight of their actions. Their season of accountability has arrived, and there's no escape. Number 2. Their fantasy crumbles beneath your glow-up. For far too long, your enemies lived in a fantasy of their own making, a delusion that you'd stay stuck, defeated, or invisible. They told themselves stories to justify their actions, believing that their schemes were working and their negativity was enough to keep you down. But here's the thing about illusions: they shatter when faced with undeniable truth. And this holiday season, your glow-up is the hammer they never saw coming. Every success you've achieved is a spotlight, exposing their failures and laying bare the futility of their efforts. Your career milestones, personal growth, and strengthened relationships are undeniable proof that their plans to derail you only made you stronger. They're not just envious, they're grappling with the cold, hard truth that their narrative was nothing but wishful thinking. The person they sought to bury has risen higher than they ever imagined, and the weight of that reality is crushing. The holidays, meant to be a season of joy, are now a season of bitter reflection for them. They can't escape you. Mutual friends bring up your accomplishments in conversations they can't avoid. Social media, whether they scroll willingly or not, showcases your wins like a billboard they're forced to pass every day. Even their own thoughts betray them, replaying every milestone you've achieved as a reminder of how spectacularly their schemes failed. What cuts the deepest is that your glow-up isn't forced or flashy, it's effortless. You're not seeking to gloat or rub your success in their faces. You're simply living your life, thriving with confidence and grace. Yet your radiance is undeniable. It's a quiet, powerful statement that shatters the lies they built to comfort themselves. While they remain stuck, spinning their wheels in the same stagnant place, you've soared to heights they never believed you'd reach. Here's the irony. Their attempts to block your blessings didn't just fail, they backfired. Every obstacle they threw your way became a stepping stone for your growth. Their negativity sharpened your focus. Their sabotage fueled your resilience. They tried to break you, but instead, they built the platform for your rise. This isn't just a moment of triumph for you. It's a reckoning for them. Their illusions have crumbled, and now they're left staring at a truth they can't escape. They didn't just fail to stop you. They became part of the story that propelled you forward. And that truth will linger long after the holidays are over. Number 3. Justice delivers. When it hurts the most, karma is a silent architect, patiently building consequences brick by brick, while your enemies think they've escaped unscathed. They've spent their year weaving webs of lies, manipulation, and negativity, believing they've outsmarted life itself. But karma's timing is flawless, and it always strikes at the moment that stings the most. What better time for the universe to settle its accounts than during the season of joy and celebration? Imagine throwing stones all year, only to realize the mountain you've built is about to collapse on you. That's the reality for those who schemed against you. While they were busy plotting your downfall, karma was quietly watching, taking notes and preparing its response. Now, during the holidays, a time meant for peace and abundance. The scales of justice are tipping against them, and there's no way to escape the avalanche. Plans they thought were foolproof are crumbling like a house of cards. Financial struggles they never saw coming are tightening their grip, leaving them scrambling to keep up appearances. Relationships they counted on for stability are fracturing under the weight of mistrust and unresolved conflict. And the traps they set for you, they've walked right into them, leaving them ensnared in their own deceit. Every effort to cling to their illusion of control only makes their reality more chaotic. The contrast between you and them couldn't be sharper. While you're thriving, surrounded by blessings, genuine connections and peace, they're unraveling. Their smiles are hollow, their holiday cheer is forced, and their carefully constructed facade is cracking. No amount of festive decorations, gift-giving or distraction can cover the storm brewing in their lives. Karma's grip is unrelenting, and the harder they resist, the tighter it holds. This isn't about revenge, it's about balance. Karma doesn't punish out of spite, it simply ensures that what's sown is reaped. For your enemies, this season is a harsh reminder that actions have consequences, and no amount of scheming can outpace the universal law of justice. Meanwhile, you're untouched. The blessings flowing into your life are a testament to your resilience, kindness, and unwavering focus on growth. While they're drowning in the chaos of their own making, you're standing tall, basking in the glow of everything you've earned. Let karma do its work. This holiday season, their reckoning is unfolding, and you don't need to lift a finger. Celebrate your wins, cherish your peace, and trust in the perfect timing of the universe. Justice has arrived, and it's delivering in full force. Number 4, your absence is their punishment. Your energy wasn't just a presence in their lives, it was their secret weapon. It was the lifeline they clung to, the well they drained to mask their own emptiness. Your resilience lifted them. Your positivity kept their insecurities at bay. Your emotional depth filled the voids they refused to face. But now, you've taken it away, and they're left floundering in a darkness they never thought they'd have to confront. Your withdrawal didn't come with dramatic exits or fiery arguments. There was no storm, no showdown. You didn't slam the door on them, you simply walked away. Quietly, calmly, you chose yourself. You prioritized your peace and left them standing in a silence that echoes louder than any words could. And that silence, it's deafening. It's a vacuum where your energy used to be, a stark reminder that without you, they're unmoored. Now they're struggling. Without your light, their world feels smaller, dimmer, and colder. They're spiritually drained, emotionally hollow, and mentally scattered. Every attempt to fill the void you left behind through shallow friendships, meaningless distractions, or forced joy only highlights how irreplaceable you truly were. Your energy wasn't just a bonus in their lives. It was the glue holding their fractured selves together. Without it, they're unraveling. What burns them the most is the realization that your departure wasn't an act of revenge. You didn't leave to hurt them, you left to heal yourself. And in doing so, you exposed the truth they worked so hard to ignore. They weren't just dependent on you, they were defined by you. The best parts of their world weren't their own. They were reflections of the light you gave so freely. Now, that light is gone, and they're left with the reality of their own shadows. The part of themselves they cherished most, the part you nurtured, has vanished, leaving them empty. They're asking questions they can't answer. Why doesn't your absence feel temporary? Why does their world feel so hollow without you? How did they let something so vital slip away? This isn't punishment by your hand. This is the natural consequence of their actions or inaction. They took your energy for granted, siphoning from a source they never sought to replenish. And now, in this season of reflection, they're haunted by the truth. The real gift wasn't what you did for them. It was you. A gift they misused, undervalued, and lost forever. As they sit with forced smiles and shallow distractions this holiday season, the absence of your energy is the void they can't escape. Every laugh they fake, every forced moment of cheer only reminds them of the irreplaceable light they let slip through their fingers. You didn't just leave their world, you took the best part of it with you, and that is a punishment they'll never recover from. Number 5. When pretending can no longer hide the truth. The holiday season is often called a time of joy and connection, but for those living a lie, it's a time when the cracks in their carefully crafted masks begin to show. Pretending to be successful, happy, or fulfilled is easy in fleeting moments, but the relentless cheer and warmth of the holidays demand authenticity. For your enemies, who've spent the year building facades to hide their insecurity and failures, this season becomes a stage where the truth refuses to stay hidden. Think of their lives as porcelain masks, beautiful to look at from a distance, but fragile under pressure. The weight of maintaining the illusion grows unbearable during the holidays. The smiles they force for family photos don't reach their eyes, and the words of praise they fish for feel hollow, even to them. They've spent so much time convincing others that they're thriving, but the holidays have a way of amplifying the emptiness behind the curtain. Family gatherings, once a platform for them to flaunt their false narratives, now turn into minefields. A casual question about their supposed accomplishments exposes inconsistencies in their stories. Relatives, once charmed by their self-promotion, begin to notice the cracks. Forced smiles and restless energy betray the truth they've tried so hard to bury. Social events are no safer. Gossip, like glitter, has a way of sticking and spreading during the holidays. Someone always knows more than they're letting on, and under the festive lights, whispers turn into raised eyebrows. Even their closest circles aren't immune to the truth creeping in. Friends, partners, and confidants start to sense the defensiveness in their tone, the avoidance of deeper conversations, and the sheer exhaustion in their attempts to keep up appearances. The facade isn't just cracking, it's crumbling. Their false confidence becomes see-through, their exaggerated achievements sound rehearsed, and their attempts at joy feel forced. The irony. They spent the year trying to tear others down, including you, to elevate themselves. Now, under the scrutiny of the holiday glow, it's their own lack of authenticity that's on display for everyone to see. While they struggle to patch their disintegrating mask, you shine. Your authenticity is your armor. You don't need to fake joy because your happiness is real. You don't need to pretend to be fulfilled because your growth speaks for itself. The contrast between your truth and their lies is blindingly clear, leaving them exposed, embarrassed, and isolated. The holidays, meant to symbolize connection and gratitude, have become their reckoning. They're surrounded by genuine celebrations of success and love, but their world feels hollow and counterfeit. Their carefully constructed persona is no longer believable, not to others, and not even to themselves. This isn't just about their failure, it's about your rise. As their masks fall away, revealing the insecurity and bitterness beneath, your light only grows brighter. Their pretense is no match for your truth, and as the season continues, the gap between their shadows and your glow becomes impossible to ignore. Number 6. Forgiveness, the sword that cuts deeper than revenge. Forgiveness is often seen as a gift, but for those who sought to harm you, it feels more like a curse. They expected retaliation, perhaps even welcomed it. After all, anger and revenge would have given them a distraction, a way to rationalize their actions. Instead, you chose forgiveness, a decision that sliced through their defenses like a blade of truth, leaving them exposed and haunted. Imagine throwing a stone at a calm lake, expecting it to ripple with chaos, but instead it swallows the stone, leaving the surface still and serene. That's the effect your forgiveness had on them. They threw their worst at you, hoping for a reaction, but your grace left them stunned, staring at their own reflection in the stillness. Forgiveness didn't free them. It trapped them in their guilt. Your refusal to engage denied them closure. They can no longer frame you as the aggressor or justify their actions by pointing to a back-and-forth battle. Instead, they're left with the stark, undeniable truth. They wronged someone who refused to stoop to their level. And this truth is inescapable, especially during the holidays, a season steeped in themes of peace, redemption, and goodwill. Forgiveness forces them into a confrontation they never wanted with themselves. Without the noise of conflict to distract them, they're left in the silence of their own choices. That silence is deafening, filled with the echoes of every petty scheme, every cruel word, every attempt to drag you down. It's a mirror they can't avoid, reflecting their own insecurities, jealousy, and lack of integrity. During this festive season, no gift, no distraction, and no hollow holiday cheer can dull the weight of that mirror. They see you thriving, moving on, growing, glowing, and every glimpse of your success feels like a spotlight on their failure. It's not just that they failed to harm you, it's that their efforts to break you only highlighted their own brokenness. What sharpens the sting is your resilience. You didn't just survive their attacks, you rose above them. Your peace is unshakable, your growth undeniable, and your joy untouchable. They expected a battle, but you walked away. That calm, deliberate dismissal is a wound they can't heal because it denies them the satisfaction of a fight. Instead, they're left replaying their actions, haunted by questions they can't answer. Why did I waste so much energy on someone who only ever radiated light? Why did I let my own insecurities drive me to hurt them? This isn't torment you caused. It's the consequence of their choices. Forgiveness didn't erase their guilt. It magnified it. Every smile you wear, every win you achieve, and every ounce of peace you exude reminds them of the grace they took for granted. They're trapped in a cycle of reflection, burdened by a truth they can't escape. This holiday season, as they sit in their reckoning, you are free. Free from their negativity, free to embrace the blessings the universe has in store, and free to step into the new year unburdened. Your forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was strength, and it's the reason their guilt now weighs heavier than any revenge ever could. Number 7. Your absence cuts deeper than your presence ever could. Sometimes silence is louder than a scream. Your absence isn't just a missing piece in their world. It's a black hole that's swallowing their sense of relevance. For those who built their identity around opposing you through jealousy, sabotage, and constant criticism, your departure is the ultimate slap in the face. They thrived on your reactions, fed off your attention, and existed in the misguided belief that your orbit gave them purpose. But now that you've moved on, they're left standing in the wreckage of their own emptiness, and it's hitting harder than they ever thought possible. This isn't just about the silence you left behind. It's about the deafening void that follows. Your enemies spent so much energy obsessing over your every move, criticizing your victories, and trying to trip you up that they forgot to build their own lives. They made you their measuring stick, the benchmark for their twisted sense of superiority. Without you to target, their entire framework has collapsed. They're staring into a chasm of irrelevance they don't know how to fill. Here's the cruel irony. They didn't just dislike you, they needed you. You weren't their enemy, you were their mirror. Your success shined a harsh light on their failures. Your resilience amplified their fragility, and your strength made their insecurities impossible to ignore. They defined themselves by trying to break you, and now that you've removed yourself from their game, they're left grappling with the one thing they can't escape: their own inadequacy. Sure, they'll try to redirect their energy. Maybe they'll target someone else or find new distractions, but it won't work. Their fixation was never about you as a person. It was about the way you made them feel about themselves. Without you as their adversary, their weakness becomes their only companion. They're stuck in a loop of self-doubt, reliving every bridge they burned, every chance they squandered, and every moment they wasted on tearing you down instead of lifting themselves up. And while they spiral in regret, you're thriving. Your absence hasn't diminished your power, it's amplified it. You've moved forward with grace, surrounded by peace, purpose, and people who genuinely value you. Meanwhile, they're replaying the past like a broken record, haunted by the glaring reality that you're flourishing without a second thought about them. The holidays only make it worse. A season meant for connection and reflection becomes a harsh spotlight on everything they lack. Every missed opportunity to grow, every ounce of energy they wasted on bitterness, every relationship they sabotaged, it all comes rushing back, louder and clearer than ever. While you're surrounded by love and success, they're stuck in the shadows of their own making, grappling with unanswerable questions. What do I do now? Who am I without this rivalry? Your absence isn't just a void, it's a reckoning. It exposes the shallow foundation they built their identity on and forces them to confront their irrelevance in a world where you've made it clear they no longer matter. This isn't just a loss for them, it's a brutal lesson. As they sit in the silence you left behind, know this: their struggle is not your burden. You're free from their toxicity, thriving in a space where their influence no longer exists. This holiday season, your absence isn't just your freedom, it's their judgment, delivered by their own hand. Number 8. The skeletons in their closet are dancing in the spotlight. The holidays are a double-edged sword. While they're meant to bring joy and connection, they also shine an unforgiving light on truths long hidden. For those who've built their lives on lies, manipulation, and deceit, this season doesn't just bring reflection, it brings exposure. Their carefully spun web of falsehoods begins to unravel at the worst possible time, leaving them cornered by the very truth they tried to bury. Imagine a dam holding back a river of secrets, cracking under the weight of its own deceit. That's what this season feels like for your enemies. The energy they invested in keeping their lies intact is no match for the force of truth. And now, the dam has burst. Family gatherings become ground zero for their reckoning. What's meant to be a time of laughter and bonding turns into a minefield of unplanned revelations. Someone, perhaps innocently, or maybe with purpose, brings up the lies they told or the drama they created. The room fills with awkward silence as they scramble to explain away inconsistencies or sidestep pointed questions. The image they worked so hard to maintain crumbles in front of the very people whose respect they coveted most. But it doesn't stop there. Holiday parties, full of festive cheer and lowered inhibitions, become breeding grounds for gossip and revelations. Maybe it's an old acquaintance who slips up, revealing a truth that contradicts their version of events. Perhaps a co-worker shares a snippet of information that unravels their carefully curated facade. The warm glow of the season only magnifies the sting of their exposure, and they're left with nowhere to hide. Even within their inner circles, cracks are forming. Partners, close friends, and family members start to connect the dots. They notice inconsistencies in stories, defensive reactions, and restless energy. These subtle shifts become glaring red flags, eroding trust and exposing the hollowness behind the mask. The walls they built to protect their image aren't just crumbling, they're collapsing. What's surfacing isn't small. These aren't minor slip-ups or forgivable white lies. These are the very foundations of the image they've constructed. False achievements, manipulative intentions, and hidden betrayals. And the fallout, devastating. They're left vulnerable, isolated, and unable to control the narrative that's slipping through their fingers. What makes it worse is the timing. The holidays demand authenticity, but their lives are anything but genuine. Every cheerful song, every twinkling light, and every act of kindness around them is a painful contrast to the chaos within. They're scrambling to contain the damage, but the more they try, the more obvious their deceit becomes. The harder they cling to the mask, the more it cracks, revealing the truth they fought so hard to hide. For you, this isn't about revenge or satisfaction. It's simply the natural unfolding of justice. Their lies and manipulations have come full circle, amplified by the season's demand for honesty and connection. While they're consumed by the fallout of their exposed secrets, you remain untouched, thriving in your peace and authenticity. This season, the skeletons in their closet aren't just rattling, they're dancing under a spotlight they can't escape. The truth, no matter how deeply buried, always finds its way to the surface. And now, their reckoning is here, forcing them to face the reality they so desperately tried to deny. Number 9. No one escapes judgment. Justice has its own pace, and the universe is no respecter of schedules. For those who've lived deceitfully, the holidays have become a trial by fire, a season where the universe's judgment looms large. The decorations, carols, and festive cheer are a cruel backdrop to their unraveling. They can try to hide behind glitter and garlands, but the cracks in their lives have grown too wide to conceal. Like a hunter patient in the shadows, the universe doesn't rush. It waits for the perfect moment, and when it strikes, the impact is undeniable. This holiday season, while others bask in peace, love, and connection, your enemies are locked in a private storm of turmoil, regret, and chaos. Their lives are unraveling thread by thread, and the harder they try to hold it together, the more everything falls apart. They may attempt to drown out the noise with distractions, lavish parties, endless shopping, or over-the-top celebrations, but their joy is a facade. Beneath the surface, their spirits are buckling under the weight of the choices they thought they'd escaped. Sleepless nights creep in, their minds racing with guilt and unresolved negativity. Their bodies betray them with fatigue, illness, and stress, as though even their physical selves are calling for a reckoning. Money, once their shield, becomes another source of stress. Unexpected expenses pile up like a dam breaking under pressure. Failed ventures, dwindling resources, and mounting bills chip away at their sense of security. The foundation they built with lies and manipulation crumbles under the universe's steady hand. But the real battle is emotional. The weight of envy, bitterness, and guilt, things they've clung to all year, manifests in explosive ways. Arguments erupt in their closest relationships, revealing fractures they can no longer ignore. The energy they spent trying to harm others has drained them, leaving little for self-improvement or happiness. Their world, once carefully curated to appear perfect, is now a house of cards collapsing under its own weight. What makes this reckoning so devastating is its timing. The holidays, a season meant for giving and gratitude, amplify their failures. Every attempt to pretend everything is fine backfires spectacularly. The harder they fight to maintain appearances, the more obvious their struggles become to those around them. Their polished image is no match for the relentless judgment of the universe. This isn't petty karma, it's balance. The universe is not spiteful, it's precise. The energy they poured into destruction, malice and deceit has returned to them tenfold. Judgment isn't loud or flashy, it's a quiet storm, dismantling their lives one truth at a time. No one escapes it. Meanwhile, you thrive untouched, glowing in the light of your blessings. Their judgment isn't your doing, it's the natural law of the universe. You're a testament to resilience and grace, rising above their chaos with authenticity and strength. Let their reckoning unfold. It's not your burden to carry. Focus on your own path, your growth, your peace, and your purpose. The universe is doing what it always does, restoring balance, and their reality is now one they cannot outrun. Number 10. Your success turns their lies to ash. For years, your enemies crafted a story, a fabricated script in which you were the failure, the misstep, the one destined to stay small. They thrived on these tales, using your supposed shortcomings to paint themselves in a better light. Their false narratives weren't just lies, they were their life raft, giving them a sense of superiority and attention in social circles. But now, your success has torched that script, leaving nothing but ash and questions in its wake. This year, your achievements have been louder than their whispers. Whether it's climbing career heights, launching a business, nurturing thriving relationships, or simply radiating undeniable confidence, your wins have become impossible to ignore. The version of you they sold to the world, weak, incapable, irrelevant, now stands in glaring contradiction to the powerhouse everyone sees before them. Your glow is so undeniable that it's not just visible, it's blinding. Mutual friends, colleagues, and even bystanders are taking notice. Whispers have turned into pointed questions. Why did they always speak so poorly of you? What was their real agenda? Those questions are like cracks in the pedestal they built for themselves, and with each crack, their credibility crumbles further. What cuts them the deepest? You didn't fight them. You didn't engage in petty battles or try to correct their lies. Instead, you let your success speak. Every accomplishment, every smile, every step forward has been a testament to your strength and growth. While they spun lies, you built a legacy. Their narrative wasn't just disrupted, it was obliterated by the truth you're living. As one saying goes, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. But when the truth arrives, it leaves no room for lies to hide. The irony here is poetic. Their sabotage was your sharpening stone. Every obstacle they threw your way became a tool for your resilience. Each time they tried to dim your light, they unknowingly fanned your fire. Now, as you rise, their efforts don't just seem futile, they're a glaring testament to their own insecurity. This holiday season, while the world celebrates your wins, they're stuck in an uncomfortable spotlight. The tables have turned. Their motives are under scrutiny. The trust and admiration they once commanded are now tainted by their exposed bitterness. They're not just facing the reality of your success. They're grappling with the humiliation of their failure. Your success isn't just a triumph, it's their reckoning. It forces them to face an uncomfortable truth. They wasted their energy trying to pull you down, only to watch you rise higher than they ever imagined. And while you bask in the peace and joy you've earned, their narrative, the one they clung to for so long, fades into irrelevance. This isn't just your season of victory, it's their season of exposure. Your light has left no room for their lies to linger. Number 11. A cold mirror to their loneliness. The holidays are a time of joy for many, but for those who spent their year burning bridges and sowing discord, this season becomes a stark reminder of their isolation. While others gather around family dinners, laugh over old memories and revel in the warmth of connection, they sit in the emptiness of their own making. The glow of holiday lights only sharpens the shadows in their lives, casting an unforgiving spotlight on the voids they've created. Loneliness isn't just an empty house or a silent phone. It's the weight of missed opportunities, betrayed trust, and broken relationships. For your enemies, this loneliness is a direct consequence of their actions. The envy and bitterness they poured into sabotaging you and others have eroded their connections. They pushed people away with manipulation and deceit, and now they're left haunted by the ghosts of what could have been. This time of year amplifies everything, good and bad. As they scroll through social media, every photo of joyful gatherings and heartfelt captions feels like a dagger. Each image of someone surrounded by love and laughter serves as a painful reminder of the bonds they once had but destroyed. No amount of gift-giving or extravagant gestures can fill the hollow space in their hearts. Their world is decorated on the outside, but barren within, a gaudy display masking a desolate reality. And then there's you, the one they tried so hard to bring down. While they wallow in their bitterness, you're thriving. Your connections are genuine, your joy is real, and your peace is unshakable. This contrast eats away at them. Their shallow attempts to distract themselves, over-the-top parties, expensive gifts, or performative holiday cheer only emphasize what they lack. They know the difference between showing happiness and actually feeling it. And it stings. The irony is sharp. The relationships they sabotaged in their pursuit of control and superiority are the ones they now crave the most. They thought isolating you would bring them satisfaction, but now they're the ones stranded on the island they created. They look at the warmth others enjoy and feel the coldness of their own reality seeping deeper. This loneliness isn't just about the absence of people. It's about the absence of meaning. The authenticity, love, and purpose they worked to destroy in others are now glaring holes in their own lives. Their pain isn't inflicted, it's self-inflicted. The seeds they planted grew into a forest of isolation, and now they're lost within it. Meanwhile, you shine, surrounded by love, supported by authenticity, and carried by gratitude. Your light is undeniable. You are the living proof that integrity and resilience always win. Let this season remind you that their struggles are not your burden to carry. Their loneliness is the natural result of their choices, and your thriving is the reward of yours. This holiday season, step into your joy fully. Celebrate the connections you've nurtured and the blessings no one can take from you. Let your light shine so brightly that even their darkness can't dim it. Number 12. Front row seat to your glory. The universe has a peculiar sense of humor, and this holiday season it has reserved a front row seat for your enemies to witness the blessings they tried so hard to block. Imagine the bitter irony. The very hands that tried to extinguish your light now sit idle, forced to applaud your shine. Their sabotage wasn't a detour, it became a launch pad, and now your success stands tall, undeniable, and unshakable. Your enemies thought they could write your downfall, but instead, they've become unwilling spectators in your victory parade. Your blessings are everywhere, glowing in the laughter of genuine relationships, reflecting in the peace you've cultivated, and radiating from the abundance you've attracted. It's like the universe turned their negativity into a mirror, and all they can see is the stark contrast between their failures and your rise. Their pain isn't just envy, it's the sharp sting of realization. While they're tangled in the mess of their own making, strained finances, broken relationships, and restless nights, you're thriving. Social media posts celebrate your wins. Mutual friends drop casual mentions of your accomplishments. Even their own thoughts betray them, replaying how they underestimated you. Every piece of your progress shines a spotlight on the stagnation they can't escape. Here's the kicker: they had a hand in your rise. Their roadblocks became stepping stones. Their attempts to weaken you only sharpened your resolve. The harder they tried to dim your light, the brighter it burned. This truth is a jagged pill for them to swallow, especially during the holidays, a time they expected to dominate with their own facade of success. Instead, they're stuck in what feels like purgatory, watching your every move highlight their shortcomings. The holidays amplify everything: joy for some, regret for others. For your enemies, this season has become a personal hell. They might try to dismiss your success or explain it away, but deep down, they know the truth. Your blessings are untouchable, unstoppable, and richly deserved. Their despair isn't just about what they've lost. It's the realization of what they'll never take from you. They gambled on your failure, and the universe turned their loss into your jackpot. Now they sit in the dark, haunted by the glow of your success. Your joy, your peace, your abundance, these aren't just wins. They're reminders of how far you've come and how little their efforts mattered in the grand scheme. Your triumph isn't just personal. It's a testament to the power of resilience and grace. While they wallow in regret, you bask in the warmth of a life built on integrity, hard work, and authenticity. This holiday season, celebrate without restraint. Let their reckoning serve as a reminder that the universe doesn't forget. Your blessings are proof of what happens when grace meets grit, and no force on earth can take that from you. Step boldly into your future. This is just the beginning of a chapter written in triumph and transformation. Let the light you carry remind them you were never theirs to defeat. So, chosen ones, this holiday season, remember, your light is unstoppable, and no amount of darkness can snuff it out. Let your victories be a testament to your resilience and grace. As they face their reckoning, you're stepping into a future filled with peace, joy, and blessings they'll never take away. If this message resonated with you, drop the number 77 in the comments to align with the universe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help spread this empowering truth. Stay tuned for more wisdom and inspiration as we rise together into the greatness that awaits. You deserve it all.